The birth of the universe is a mistake. If civilization is a cancer emerging quietly from the boundless stars, then war is the only common language known to all intelligent life. To correct this mistake, and to clean up this tainted universe, Nanook became the avatar of entropy. This is the belief of those who follow the Ruin author, also known as Nanook the Destruction. So today we're going to talk about the followers of the Destruction known as the Antimatter Legion, the Path of Destruction as a concept, Nanook himself, and other fanatical followers who try to catch a gaze from the Aeon of Destruction. As always, let us start with the Aeon himself. Nanook is the most recently ascended Aeon. He emerged when the world of Adlivan faced total destruction. We catch glimpses of his ascension within the simulated universe when Fuli the Remembrance tried to show us, or rather Akivili the Trailblazer, the birth of the destruction, where it starts with a vision of a weeping Adlivan baby with an uncut umbilical cord, then a vision of a dark-skinned man with a golden scar on his body, and golden blood flowing towards the dying planet, which then turns into a swift shadow across the abyss, reaching out towards shooting stars. Thus, Nanook ascends. Though it's not really all that clear how he attained the power to ascend, it's clear that the path of destruction was one born through war within the world of Adlivan. Unfortunately, during his ascension, the planet itself was completely destroyed. Now, Herta believes that it is quite odd that Nanook was even born in the first place, as there is also another Aeon that embodies a similar concept, that of Terminus the Finality. And as Kafka has mentioned, Aeons that have similar concepts can collide with each other, resulting in one being absorbed by the other. This most recently happened with Ina the Order being absorbed by Shipe the Harmony. Now, while finality and destruction might have some similarities, the concept of the path of destruction stems from a belief that the universe is a mistake, and that only the complete annihilation of the universe can correct this mistake. While we don't know exactly what the concept of finality is, Herta believes that destruction should be a concept included in the finality. So in the future, it is possible that Nanook will absorb Terminus or vice versa, depending on which concept is broader. But before we delve deeper into the path of destruction, know that just because a character embodies a path, doesn't mean that they have to follow its concept to the letter. Pathstriders can draw power from the path while not completely following it. In fact, Pathstriders can even leave a path and follow a new one. We can even see this with those who follow the destruction, as there are two organizations that follow in Nanook's footsteps. One is his own personal army of warriors, the Antimatter Legion, and the other is a group of fanatics that seek his gaze, known as the Annihilation Gang. There are others that also follow the destruction, but these two are the more notable ones. Now, although these two groups follow the path of destruction, only the Antimatter Legion has the blessing of Nanook. This is due to the incorrect view held by the Annihilation Gang on what we'll call the true path of destruction. The gang's goal for causing destruction is tainted by impure, chaotic desires. They take pleasure in the slaughter, they plunder for vengeance, and some simply rely on an endless destruction to satisfy their madness. These chaotic desires taint the pure hatred that embodies the true path of destruction, where followers must place themselves at the absolute opposite of life and civilization, rejecting any desires and solely focusing on the destruction of everything with no rhyme or reason. I also believe that this may be what differentiates destruction from finality. This puts the Annihilation Gang in a sort of limbo. While they are following the path of destruction, they can't receive the gaze of their Aeon due to their own desires, and they forever chase that gaze, making them extremely violent and deadly. Now, while the Annihilation Gang are in an eternal exile, those that do catch the eye of Nanook are taken and birthed anew within the Antimatter Legion. This is done through a technology the Legion calls a Warforge, through the process of recasting. Unfortunately, details about the recasting process aren't clear yet. I'm unsure if recasting requires life or it simply hones in on the hatred born within the spirit of those placed within the Warforge, as It varies depending on the type of antimatter soldier that we're looking at. For example, the grunts of the army, Void Rangers, are warriors who have yet to perish. Instead, they are placed into the Warforged and recasted into an antimatter soldier. Meanwhile, monsters like a Doomsday Beast is created only from fragments of a Dusk Leviathan and the whales of the remnants of the Warforged. So it's not very clear if recasting requires life or just remnants. In a way, the Warforged acts the same way as the Fragmentum does, except in a more controlled manner, which makes sense since the Fragmentum is a phenomena born from a Stellaron, which many speculate to be drawing power from the Destruction. Either way, the Warforged allows the Antimatter Legion to create fearsome warriors and monsters that follow the true path of destruction, making them one of the most menacing factions in the universe. At the head of this faction is of course Nanook, and his emanators known as the Lord Ravagers. Lord Ravagers are the top members of the Antimatter Legions, and are ones who receive the most powerful blessings of the Destruction, granting them immense destructive powers. Now, like the other members of the Antimatter Legion, they are twisted from the inside out and recasted within the Warforged, giving them potent bodies to enact their desire to destroy everything. Unlike most of the Legion, however, they are far more clever. They are commanders upon the battlefield, and each Lord Ravager commands different legions. And as a commander, they have unique philosophies when it comes to destruction, allowing each of them to tackle obstacles with creativity almost akin to art. This makes them extremely dangerous as they employ all manner of strategies to execute the sublime destruction that Nanook desires. It is said that the displacement and desolation caused by the Lord Ravagers are not some distant whale, but are closely linked to the fate of the galaxy. Any world could be the next victim, and nobody should take them lightly. And below these Lord Ravagers are the vast legions they wield. So far, we've seen quite a few of their troops, from the devastating Doomsday Beast that is said to be a planet destroyer, to Void Ranger Tramplers, who are an amalgamation of fallen warriors and Leviathan parts, sewn together with the Warforged, giving it an ability to summon lesser Void Rangers. The Antimatter Legion is vast and powerful, and they are sweeping across the universe, destroying world after world. With the Stellarons, they even broke the Union of the Worlds created by the IPC. Their movements throughout the galaxy is one of great interest to many, and although our first meeting with them was hardly cause for concern because of, well, it's low level and we easily beat them, I've no doubt that we will eventually come face to face with the full might of the Antimatter Legions. Even Kafka already hinted and ominously prepares the Trailblazers that they will definitely need help when they face the Aeon of Destruction and his legions. Before I end this video, I do want to ask a question. What do you guys think about the difference between finality and destruction? Now, Herta seems to believe that these two concepts are closely linked, but if the concept of finality is like what it is in Honkai Impact, then it might not even be close. Even the description of Terminus says, the Aeon that moves backwards in time and presides over the path of finality. The apparition travels across the universe while murmuring a prophecy that is destined to be filled. So it is a little odd that Herta would link these two concepts together if what we know from Honkai Impact is somewhat true. Or maybe they're not related at all. Do you think these are similar concepts enough that the two Aeons would clash? Or do you think they are different enough that they won't even interact with each other? And of course, what do you all think about the Antimatter Legions themselves? I think for now, it's clear that they're the big bad of the game. They're the Snezhnaya of the universe, if you will. Probably a bad comparison, but yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you think I deserve it, please do hit the subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching.